All right.
Like you
Yep.
guys are hosting the Oregon schools this weekend. We can just talk about the Ducks on Thursday and what you're looking forward to that game.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we're playing a very talented team. That seems to be playing their best basketball right now. Obviously, we saw it and felt it firsthand, and they basically were able to kind of manhandle us for most of the game. So I'm looking forward to see how our guys respond.
Kylan talked about one of the biggest progressions since then has been the guards rebounding ability. What have you seen out of the guards and
I
rebounding?
mean, that would be nice. I don't know if I've seen that or felt that. I mean, I think as a team we've rebounded a little bit better, but they really got after us in a lot of ways, and one of them is they kind of dominated the offensive glass. So, if you're going to win any ball game, you got to rebound well. So, hopefully our guys, got the message and will execute tomorrow.
What was most impressive about Dante and kind of what he did in that game?
He's just a really good player. I mean, he's a physical specimen. He plays extremely hard, and he's got a couple post moves he's really comfortable at, and he gets to them, and he catches lobs, and then he's a force on the offensive glass. I mean, he's just a physical presence, and he's an impressive young player.
You expect them to play him and Biddle together against you guys? They did.
I mean, I would imagine they're going to continue the same. I mean, they're playing the best they have all season, and listen, I'm not at their practices, or I don't know what they're saying at their meetings, but I mean, they have a really good team that's playing really well. I mean, I'm assuming they'll kind of let it ride.
Does it make it a little easier for you to get your messages across a week like this when they've already lost to a team like that? Like they know what they want to.
You hope so.
Yeah.
You hope so. I mean, you hope it's got our guys' attention, and but at the end of the day, I mean, you try to prepare for the game, and then the ball's going to go up at 8:30 tomorrow night, and hopefully we'll be ready to play.
Do you feel like too that like you say, everybody comes at you, with probably their best effort or one of them. Does Oregon, on top of that, feel like one of the top? Rivals to play?
I've only played against them a couple of times, and they played well both times. I mean, they have a coach who's won a lot of games. They've had a lot of success as a program. They have really talented players, and that's usually a formula for being a tough night. So we got to come out and hopefully be at our best tomorrow.
Yeah. What's the key to 3-point defense?
I mean, I think you make choices. Are you heavy in the gaps off a certain guy? Or are you taking away threes from a certain guy? Those are some defensive choices you make. And, listen, there's lots of arguments, about the impact of the 3-point defensively. And, to me, I think to be a really good defensive team, you got to do two things. You got to do your best taking away threes, especially from 3-point shooters, and then you got to do your best job you can protecting the paint. And it's a lot easier said than done.
How would you address the lineup change now after 4 games?
Well, I mean, it's we played all right, and but I'm focused on Game 5, and and how we play in Game 5. So hopefully it continues to go well, and I don't necessarily want us like settling in and getting comfortable. I mean, I think we're at a time of the year where we got to keep growing and we got to keep climbing, and that's been the message from me.
It's interesting what you say about the 3-point defense, because wasn't part of it sort of adjusting to without CeeLo in there and how we were going to play off?
I mean, a little bit. We haven't totally changed our defenses because of CeeLo, one way or the other. And maybe you make decisions game planning wise one way or another, and and what you think is the most effective way to win that game. And but nothing crazy. I feel like I haven't been pouring through the stats probably like you guys have, but I feel like the last 5 or 6 games for the most part we've been on an uptick defensively, and hopefully that continues.
When it comes to the decision between 2 bigs and 1 big, will a lot of that depend on what Oregon has out there?
Well, not necessarily. We're comfortable playing 2 bigs against small lineups, and we basically do it almost every night.
But what about the vice versa of going small against a 2 big lineup?
Well, now when you're kind of tighten your rotation a little bit, and you got 2 bigs, and you're bringing in Pella, kind of to play some of that 4 spot. You're just by your rotation, you're playing a small lineup more. So, it hasn't been anything other than let's put the best guys we can on the floor over the course of 40 minutes to give us a chance to win the game. If that means you play big, you play big. If that means you have 1 small, you play small. If that means you play 2 smalls, you play 2 smalls. It'll all play itself out.
Is Pell kind of a key guy for this matchup in the sense that you can use him when they're creating mismatches?
Well, Pell is a key guy every night for us, and obviously he's got a lot of versatility, and you can really lean in on that. He guards basically all positions at the college level, he guards all positions on the floor really well. So, I mean, you have a great comfort in that, and it gives you some defensive flexibility and versatility.
Do you think there's a certain flow to the game that allows Kerr to get going shooting-wise, what we saw last weekend, or was it just a matter of he just got going?
Well, I think the better the ball moves, the better shots Kerr gets, and we want to emphasize moving the ball, moving our bodies, and hopefully that'll continue. And the other part is Kerr, kind of locking in and making sure he's hunting shots. The great thing about Kerr is he's looking to run the team and make sure that the team's in the best position possible. And sometimes he'll let his shooting take a back seat to running the team, and he's just got to find a good happy medium of doing both.
Were you talking about Oregon? Just that game here last year also was pretty down to the wire. Stops. What do you remember about that one?
I mean, we played a really good team. That was a hard-fought game. They came out and they shot the bell well early, and we were kind of able to weather that storm and find a way to win it at the end. But by no means was it an easy or comfortable game.
We talked about today being the 50th anniversary of this building.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's an amazing place. It's an amazing place to go to work every day. And I'm not a great historian by any stretch, but you know what McHale means to college basketball. You know what McHale means to University of Arizona. You know what McHale means to Tucson. And I know for me, I mean, it's a big responsibility to carry that tradition forward. And so that's obviously what I'm focused on. But when you sit back and you look at the names that have played here, the teams that have played here, the coaches that have coached here, I mean, it's a pretty impressive place. And so I try not to spend too much time thinking about it because it might get a little bit overwhelming. So I'll just kind of stay locked into the here and now.